Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for Hacksaw Ridge. This movie was excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. This is one of those movies that's just gonna punch you right in the emotions, man. You're gonna feel that lump in your throat. It's heavy, but it's great, and it tells a really important story about this guy, Desmond Doss, and his faith, and about how he took that verse very literally, thou shalt not kill. So he wanted to join the army. And this is kind of the basic overall story of this movie, that Desmond Doss wanted to join the army, and he wanted to fight for his country, but he didn't want to take life. He didn't want to even touch a weapon. What he wanted to do was to be a medic and to help and to save lives. And that was going to be the way that he was going to contribute to saving his country and fighting for his country. First off, we have to get into the positives. Mel Gibson directing this and telling this story, he did an amazing job. Now, when you're at the beginning of the film, and this was my initial response in the beginning, I felt like things were moving a little fast. Like Andrew Garfield, Desmond Doss, he meets the girl, he falls in love with the girl, and that all happens really fast. At the same time, though, it does its job because it's well acted and well directed. You buy into it, you really like these characters, and you like what's going on. But initially, I was like, oh, can we spend a little more time on this? But then I'm kind of glad they moved on quickly, which is the next phase of the movie, which is Desmond Doss going through his basic training and the persecution that he goes through because he doesn't even want to touch a gun. And what I liked about this part of the movie was, it was like Captain America Civil War for me, in that I understood both sides. I mean, you understand the army side. It's like, why are you in the army if you're not even going to pick up a gun? How can your men depend on you if you won't take up a gun to defend their lives? Like, that logic, it does kind of make sense, but the way they persecuted him, the way they came against him, and the way they took him to trial, the way they treated him like a criminal because of that, that was just plain ridiculous. Then you have Andrew Garfield's side of it, where it's like, no, this is his faith. This is his conviction. Thou shalt not kill. He's not going to kill. His contribution to this war and to helping his country is going to be saving life and not taking life. And you cannot help but love that kind of heart. And you love that character of Andrew Garfield. So straight from the directing, Mel Gibson did a great job telling the story. Into the acting, Andrew Garfield was amazing in this. Utterly amazing in this movie. So good job, Andrew Garfield. It was just amazing. Vince Vaughn did pretty good in this movie. You know, it's funny because he's like a drill sergeant, and he's yelling and doing all the stuff they do in those movies and things like that, and I had a hard time buying it. I don't think it's because he's a bad actor, and he did the character bad. I actually think he is a good actor, and he did it pretty well. But I do have typical Vince Vaughn stuck in my head, and I think that might have been my problem with this character. Not that the actor did a bad job, but I can't get the Vince Vaughn that I know out of my head. The acting was great. The directing was great. When the war scenes start, they are graphic and gory. I mean, it is a World War II movie, and when that first war scene hit, I jumped 10 feet out of my skin like, holy crap. I mean, it caught me by surprise. It was incredibly well done, and I was on the edge of my seat in it. Sometimes I had a hard time seeing who was hurt, who was injured, who was dying, who was not, but the movie did a really good job catching me up, and I knew what was going on, so I don't really hold that against anything. And those war scenes were just incredible. And then to watch as these characters get put to the test, and you watch Andrew Garfield's character, Desmond Doss, just rise to the occasion, it's powerful to watch. Now, being a Christian myself, there's a lot of Christian independent movies out there made by Christian independent companies. And I will say, some of those movies are pretty good, some really are not. Overall, they are steadily improving. Movies like Risen, I thought were pretty good. But when I watch a lot of Christian movies, a lot of my problems with them is they get really corny and hokey. And the part where it just stops me is they're trying to tell a story, but they stop telling the story in order to preach a sermon and preach to you a message. And so I feel like a lot of those companies could take some good notes from what Mel Gibson did in Hacksaw Ridge. I wouldn't say this movie's a Christian movie per se, but it is definitely a very faith-based, or at least a very faith-driven movie, because it is about Desmond Doss, his relationship with God, and how that's impacting him on the field. And this movie didn't stop to preach us a sermon about killing is wrong and thou shalt not kill. No, this movie showed us his conviction. It showed him get into action. He put his faith in action, and we watched him live out his faith. We watched him in a moment of despair. Oh God, what do you want me to do? And then boom, he runs right back into the fray. And those scenes, like you get it in the trailer where he's saying, just one more, Lord. Help me to bring back one more. those scenes brought a lump to my throat that he just kept praying that. He kept going into the fray, into the explosions, into the bullets, into all of that, to find the people that messed with him, that beat him, that persecuted him, and to carry them out on his shoulders. I mean, that's why I think a lot of modern Christian movies now, even though I do believe they are getting better, can take some notes from that. Don't stop your story and preach a message. Have the person walk and live out their faith just like they did in this movie. It was more powerful to watch this guy actually live out his beliefs than it was just to hear him say words about it. It was incredibly powerful. So getting into the negatives about this movie, there's not too many, and mostly they're kind of nitpicky, but in the beginning we spent a lot of time with Desmond Doss and his brother. Like, we see them as kids. Some kind of major event happens there that's kind of crucial in Desmond Doss's growth. But really what it's all about is, like, you know, this kind of brother relationship. But then when they become adults, Desmond's brother joins the army, and then that's it. We never see him again. And then the movie ends, and I like how when it ends, we get to see the real-life people and their interviews about Desmond Doss, and even get to hear from Desmond Doss himself, who passed away in 2006. Like, that was a really cool touch at the end. But I kind of just, for the sake of the movie, would have liked to have seen him with his wife one more time at the very end or something like that. And we didn't really get that, so I don't know. But like I said, those are very, very minor things. Those are just kind of my wish list of what I got a little bit more of. But overall, I thought this was a fantastic movie. And like I said, A+ to like a B+ is a movie I'd love to see again, and I want to own it on Blu-ray. This one I don't really want to see again right away because it's a heavy movie, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I would love to add it to my Blu-ray collection, and I'm going to give this movie an A. It was fantastic. It was epic. It told a powerful story, an important story, a moving story, a faith story, a human story. I mean, just the way that it was told, it was powerful. So bravo to the cast, bravo to Mel Gibson, bravo to you guys for putting that thing together. It was so well done. If you saw Hacksaw Ridge, what did you think? Make sure to let me know in the comments. While you're there, hit that subscribe button, become a Durbanian, and be on top of the new videos coming out here. Tomorrow, the Cholo Nerd joining me in here for a spoiler talk for Doctor Strange. And then Monday, doing a new segment Durbin Talks About, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about why do we love superhero movies so much. And then Tuesday is going to be my second Durbin Experiences, which I'm super thrilled about. So hit that subscribe button, be on top of all these new videos. I'm Durbin. Thank you for checking out Durbania.